So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you 3 books that helped me scale my agency to $50,000 per month, consistently hitting upwards of 100K months before. That said, I'm working my way to making 100K months consistent, but only hit it once or twice before. Another thing that I want to say is these won't be your standard suggestions. You know, this ain't going to be your 4-hour work week, rich dad, poor dad, and this, you know, I'm going to give you books that genuinely helped me specifically for my agency, mold my agency to where it is right now, and books that gave me the principles to really make sure that I have a boutique, lean, results-driven agency. So let's get straight into it. Now, the first book is a must read. Myself and the rest of the team at IAG Media have all read it, and that is Fanatical Prospecting. Now, Fanatical Prospecting is one of those books which just gets you so amped to do lead sourcing, to actually go out and do outreach. So for yourself, and let's say you have some appointment setters for your agency, get them to read them. I know I gave it to my appointment setters, and it seemed like it almost just gave them this entirely new kick of energy. So I strongly recommend you read that yourself, as well as your team reading it. Now, I will say there's a lot of stuff in there in terms of having a larger sales force that won't specifically apply to you as an agency. You know, I think that book is mainly tailored towards someone who has, or a lot of the examples they use in there are tailored towards businesses that have super long lead lists that they can call and whatnot. But what I love so much about Fanatical Prospecting is, you know, he makes it clear, don't make excuses for yourself, which is kind of the arena that we're in as agency owners. You know, we're not given a huge long lead list to then go out and reach to, like people in large sales forces do. For us, we gotta find our own leads, we gotta make our own leads, and we gotta reach out to those leads and follow up again with those leads, and on multiple different platforms. And I just think it's such a timeless book. And in my opinion, as I said, it's probably the best prospecting book out there. Yeah, in my opinion, it is the best prospecting book out there. And in my opinion, I've said this a couple times before, prospecting is more important than sales. If you could give me an incredible appointment setter or an incredible salesperson, I take the appointment setter any day. I find appointment setters far more impressive than good salespeople. Just to be very honest, I think that salespeople are a little overrated, and actually their role in closing the deal isn't anywhere as big as they a lot of times believe themselves to be. What I do respect though is salespeople, and for example, that's what we have at Grow Your Agency with our higher ticket programs, who find leads, nurture leads, and sell them. That is like, if you have someone like that and someone who's producing and bringing home the bread, that's the highest level of salesmanship. So yeah, just a couple side notes, but definitely read that book. And if you have any appointment setters, get them to read it too. The next book is Lean Thinking. Now, it doesn't matter whether you have an agency or any business for that matter, this book is so pivotal to read. And between this book and Profit First, really that gives me a rudder for any decision I have to make. What direction do I go in as an agency? And I think that's kind of become my forte. And to be honest, I know it's one of the main reasons that agency owners all over the world come to GrowYourAgency.com, and I think it's the reason that I have the biggest education company on earth for agency owners, because, you know, everyone from beginners trying to sign their first client, you know, many years ago, there were so many different things that they had to think about, and now the way that I teach how to run an agency, it's you do this, you do that, and if there's any breaking point in any of the parts of the agency, you use metrics and you use numbers and you just reverse engineer. And it's so easy to build your agency when it is lean, when you strip away complexity. And as I said, I have beginners coming to me, and then I also have agency owners that learn from me that are literally doing 100, 200, 300K a month rev, and are like, how the hell are you making more profit than me when you literally offer one service to your team? Is just you, and at the time of recording this, is just me, Danny, Luis, and like 30% of Kieran's time. And once again, it just comes down to being lean, being boutique, and lean thinking. As I said, doesn't matter what business you're in my opinion. I take these same principles and I try to apply them to my other businesses, Gadzhi and GrowYourAgency.com. That said, those businesses, the primary driver for those isn't to make me money in the same way that IAG Media, like I'm very firm on my margins. I'm very firm on being lean. I'm very firm on having that fund my lifestyle. So go ahead and read Lean Thinking, and just make sure it's woven into the DNA of your agency. To be honest, if you watch my videos, you know, on my main channel, my extended channel, it tells me a lot about you, right? It says a lot about you that you are a very sharp and very wise business owner, even though you may be in your infancy as a business owner and as an agency owner, but you have such incredible roots. Because you probably would have heard me say 101 different times, you gotta be boutique, you gotta be lean, you gotta reverse engineer your numbers, you got to eliminate any sort of complexity in your business, etc., etc. That said, I still definitely give it a read. The last book that helped me hit $50,000 a month profit consistently with my agency is The Culture Code. Now, when you have an agency, the smaller your team and the more you can get out of it, the better. You know, for 2 years, I had 1.3 employees. You know, I had Danny, and then I had, you know, literally 30% of Kieran's time as the copywriter for IAG Media. And, you know, we had that system all the way from me making $20,000 a month profit to hitting 100K months profit. Not consistently, as I said, but nonetheless. Now, recently we just brought on Luis, our new performance marketer, so we can bring on more client load this year. But realistically, a lot of you watching this may be a one-man army, just like I was for the longest time with my agency, where maybe you don't have any people full-time, but you have contractors that you work with. Maybe you have a contractor as a performance marketer to actually deliver the services. You have contractors for appointments, whatever it may be. And you may be thinking, oh, well, they're not full-time, so, you know, I don't really need to focus on, you know, the culture of my agency. And it seems almost comical that, you know, even if you have someone full-time, you know, you might be thinking in your mind, it's like, it's me and one other person. What could company culture possibly have to do with the results of my agency? And honestly, so many people underestimate this. I don't care if it's literally just you and one contractor. You need company culture. You need something that your agency and your business stands for. You need to understand how to lead and motivate a team. You know, 2019 was that year for me in a lot of ways. For the agency, after a very strong second half of 2018, we kept that pace going in 2019. And I realized that, like, if I wanted to have a team of A players, then I needed to cultivate some sort of culture. Even if it was literally just me, Danny, and 30% of Kieran's time, it didn't matter. And you know, the past month where we went through 150 applicants from there, we did 45 interviews, then we set a challenge to 7 of the performance marketers that got down to that stage, and then I did a final round of interview with 3, and then ended up hiring Luis. I think really that was testament to the strength of my tiny agency company culture. You know, we're a small agency in terms of the size of our team, but we have such a profound company culture. And as I said, we had 150 applicants, and from that we made a list of 13 outside of Luis that we hired who were incredible media buyers. And from that we made a list of 20 incredible media buyers that we interviewed that, you know, we decided obviously not to bring on board, but were amazing, and we actually gave that entirely for free. You know, it's the same stuff that recruitment companies out there charge $5,000 or $10,000 for, you know, 20% of the first year's salary. So obviously depends how much salary you're paying, but that's what most recruitment companies out there charge for it. So we went ahead and we got all 150 applicants, and we did almost a job with the recruitment company, and we gave it to the copy-paste agency students entirely for free. And a lot of the copy-paste agency students have now gone ahead and hired those people based on our recommendations. So we went ahead and matched a bunch of agencies with world-class media buyers that we vetted ourselves. But what I will say is, out of 20 that we reached out to and we're like, hey, look, we'd like to introduce you to some of the copy-paste agency students so you can join their teams. Out of 20 that we reached out to, 7 said, that's very kind of you, I appreciate it, but I was only willing to work for IAG Media. I was only willing to work for your company. So I think that really is a testament to the tiny yet powerful company culture that I've developed at my agency, where someone would literally only take a job offer if it was specifically for our company. And when you can do stuff like that, you can attract incredible talent. And not only attract incredible talent, if you're going out and looking for incredible talent, even if it's just you and one other person, your company culture will radiate and it will get across. I think company culture is important as an agency owner, internally as a team, and it's also important for your clients. You know, literally yesterday I was giving a facelift to our onboarding process, because I've recorded like 2 years ago and that thing really does need a facelift. And, you know, and I rejigged a couple things around from when I built it 2.5 years ago at this point. And initially our old funnel step 2 is now our funnel step 1. And in that indoctrination video, I just think it's so important that your clients know what it is that you stand for and what your agency culture is. So ladies and gentlemen, those are the 3 books that aren't gonna be your standard, you know, 4-hour work week, rich dad, poor dad, that sort of stuff. Those are the 3 books that helped me get to $50,000 a month consistently with my agency, and much farther than that on most months as well. Now, $50,000 a month, or maybe only $20,000 a month, or hey, maybe you're trying to get to $150,000 a month profit, that is. If that sounds appealing to you and you want a fast track ticket to get there and more personalized support from myself, Kieran, Danny, Max, who's our student integration manager, and you like to play with the big dogs in copy-paste agency, and this is one thing that I want to mention about copy-paste agency, it's not so much about your starting point, it's more about the destination that you're trying to get to. Everyone in copy-paste agency is trying to get to the 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K a month mark profit in record-breaking time. Now we have multiple agency owners in there doing around 150K a month already. We have some people in there who literally just have one client, but are like, look, rather than, you know, trying to set my sights on hitting 5K by the end of the year, why don't I fast track my success and try to get as much learning directly from myself, who still actively runs my agency. Danny, on the 2 hours weekly of live Q&A calls where you can spend 45 minutes, he'll run through all your ads, he'll run through your client campaigns, this, that. The 2 hours with me on the group calls where, once again, there's no time limit. You know, if it goes on for 3-4 hours, it doesn't really matter. There's no time limit on that call. And then everything else I teach in the 20-hour high-level course that is Copy Paste Agency, you know, all that combined together with all the perks that come with being a CPA student. As I said, where literally we will go out and find the best media buyers on earth, and then, you know, selfishly take the best one for us to hire, but then give a list of 13 others that you can literally go and we'll match you with people. Where students inside of Copy Paste Agency are building strategic referral partners. You know, students in the program are literally making, you know, $1,000 to $3,000 a month, literally just by referring spare leads and spare clients to each other. Where, as I said, I'm hiring a slew of new appointment setters, and I'm gonna be giving a list of 20, 30 that we didn't personally bring on, because we're only bringing on 3. And we're gonna be giving those to the CPA students. And apart from that, anyone who's in there is either at the level where they're doing big numbers, or they're very, very quickly scaling to that point. So if you want to find out a little bit more about the framework that we employ in Copy Paste Agency, because it's slightly different to Agency Incubator. Agency Incubator, if you want to get to 10K a month and you're just kind of happy at that, that is by far your best bet. And that's also going to be the most cost-effective option for you. But if you'd like more one-on-one support, if you want to play with the big dogs, and if it doesn't matter if you only have, you know, 1 or 2 clients right now, if you are adamant that within the next 12 months you want to get to 20, 30, 40, 50, 100K a month profit, and rather than playing small, you want to play big, there's a case study right below this video. It's around 45 minutes. There are 2x speed controls, so go ahead and watch it all the way through. If it interests you, if you want to stop playing small, if you want to play big and join the upper echelon of agency owners in Copy Paste Agency, then go ahead, book in a call with Max, who's my student success manager. He'll chat with you. If he thinks you're a good fit, he'll make you an offer to join the program. If he doesn't, which by the way, a lot of times he doesn't, because there's a lot more personal support from myself and my team. So in the same way with the agency, if you're not 100% fit, I'm very lucky to have gotten to a point in my career where there's no amount of money that could get me to speak with someone or help someone that I just don't think is a good fit. So as I said, if he thinks that you're a good fit, he'll make you an offer, and I hope to see you inside of Copy Paste Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead, pick up those 3 books. Go ahead, opt in that case study down below, find out a little bit more, and I'll speak to you guys soon.